This is my SAVI
And this
story.
is my SAVI story.
This is my SAVI story.
Presented by Seven Figure Flipping.
First step was definitely the family conversation. Talking to my wife, just really explaining to her, my journey up until that point, and what other goals did we have as a family that we wanted to reach. As kids, my son was almost 2 years old, and being stationed in Rhode Island, I got a chance to come home every day and see my son, and I think that really helped me make the decision as well. Talking to my wife, seeing my son every day, and then us preparing to have another kid not soon after my son was born. So I think, the family conversation, hands down, and once I received her support, it was really no turning back at that point.
The first step to prepare me for transition was to attend the transition assistance program. I knew that they had a lot of information that was going to be lined up about, like the employment process, which was really important to me, about VA benefits, and really just figuring out, what I could tap into to make the process a little bit easier.
My first step for transition, I guess my first step for transition was really just figuring out, okay, what paperwork do I need to get done? And that was honestly a lot harder than you would think, right? You would think that there's some clear guidance and instruction out there. There is an instruction, but it's most certainly not clear. And the instruction itself was interesting. It's only 4 pages long, right? But in those 4 pages, there are a bunch of people and things that I had to do that there was no reference to at all anywhere from our command. The people, like the billets, didn't really exist. They were kind of just people that have just been passed, certain jobs and responsibilities. And because most of the time that I needed to do my transition stuff, I was on deployment, I couldn't. I had to focus on the deployment. And so when we got back, I had 3 months to kind of cram everything. And I had to go see a lot of different people. I was at a mobile command. And so being at a mobile command is not like being at your traditional, big command where everyone has their own job and they're dedicated to a certain task. At a mobile command, we're a command of 300 people doing a mission for 3,000. And so everyone has 5 or 6 or 7 different jobs. And most of the time they're not focusing on that small little piece of it. So you got to stay on top of people. You got to herd cats, right? You got to try and find a lot of answers yourself. And that was kind of my transition story, really.
The first step to prepare me for transition was just basically knowing, the next stage in my life. I know for some of it's kind of hard to kind of pinpoint a career path, but for me, that security of, getting that paycheck on the 1st and 15th was gone. You still have to provide for your family. And in certain instances, I found myself struggling to get a job. Either I was overqualified or I didn't put the military terminology into, a civilian understanding of, how we actually have similar skill sets and how that transition. And it also played a big part in how I tried to explain it as well. So just reading up on those type of things and how each word means, the equivalent or, something more really helped out. Just being ready for the next stage of your life, pretty much. It's very difficult for veterans trying to transition now, whether retiring or, feel they've fulfilled their commitment to the military. It's not only do you have to choose a new career path, but some of us are still working. I think during that time where we were training 600 students for that specialty training, I was still in the process of, getting out of the military. So you still had to go to briefings. You still had to go to appointments.